Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session designed to help with social anxiety, particularly if it involves the comparison of a particular individual. And there are many people that can be very confident when they're around certain people, but put other people into the equation and they become a shadow of their former self, or they might be very socially aware or feel more socially awkward. So what you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is something created for a client where that's exactly how they felt. There were certain situations that they felt that they couldn't really be themselves because of who else was there. So you're going to hear an element of association, disassociation, and pattern interrupts. And what that really means is imagining seeing a situation, a social situation, as it actually was. And obviously that might be observing an element of anxiety or awkwardness or discomfort, and then rewinding that and imagining it happens exactly as you would want it to happen. And that's really important because it's easier to observe the way that things would want to be if you don't currently have access to those resources yet. And the yet is an important element because that's the goal of this, is to harness those resources. So seeing it happen as you would want it to happen is a stepping stone. And I was calibrating and reading that there was a bit of resistance to that. So you're going to hear some suggestions to really open up the frame to make it feel possible in that situation. And a great frame to do that is the if frame. You know, if it did happen the way you wanted it to happen, how would that look like? And that tends to get you there to a disassociated level of seeing it how you would want it to be, and then associating into that. And the final part of this hypnosis session is imagining to begin with that the other person that was the cause or the perceived cause of anxiety wasn't there to begin with, so they can just enjoy themselves and feel relaxed, feel confident. And then imagine that that person is there but disguised. And the disguise is important because the element of uncertainty as to whether it's that person becomes a bridge to still feel resourceful, even though they could be there. And then the final bit is to still feel confident and very kind of sociable and relaxed, even if that other person is there. And then suddenly, once you find that you're in that place, that environment, it can work really well. And a lot of people have had the experience of going to a place that they would have been really awkward if they were going on their own. But if they go with a friend or a family member or a sibling, something like that, then because they are confident around that individual, they can then be that version of themselves in front of more people. It's the law of consistency. So there's a few things happening in this hypnosis session, but fundamentally, it's designed to enable whoever's listening to this to feel more socially confident if either conscious or unconscious comparison is one of the reasons to impede that confidence. If you feel that a bespoke hypnosis session could be useful for you, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a completely cool, free consultation call with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, Breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and just release it. As you're breathing in and breathing out, just release any tension in your eyelids. And with your eyes closed, notice how you can become more aware of the speed of your breathing, more aware of any echoes of tension in any part of your body, and more aware of the sound of my voice. As you slow down your breathing, notice how you can breathe in deeper and exhale for longer. And in doing so, utilize the depth, the tempo, the rhythm of your breathing to be a catalyst to release tension. Scan your body for any feelings of tension, maybe in the forehead, your jaw, neck and shoulders. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in a feeling of relaxation. Imagine that relaxation going to work. And as those muscles relax, imagine breathing the tension out in your outward breath. As you can imagine this as a form of transfusion, breathing in what's needed, exhaling what isn't, feeling like you're breathing in worthiness and breathing out unworthiness. Breathing in a feeling of contentment and breathing out any feelings of frustration. Breathing in and breathing out, and allow yourself to become deeper and deeper relaxed. I want you to use the power of your imagination to remember a moment of the past. Maybe a moment where you were in a social environment, a time when you felt uncomfortable. And maybe you felt uncomfortable because of the environment you were in, variables outside of your control, or maybe someone else that you were comparing yourself to either consciously or unconsciously. And imagine you're back in your body feeling how you were feeling back then. Maybe your breathing was shallow from your chest. Maybe muscles were tense that didn't need to be tense. Maybe there was a loud or quiet inner dialogue, making you feel certain emotions not conducive to the environment. Maybe you felt on edge, stressed, out of place, an outsider. And I want you to imagine stepping out of that version of you. I want you to imagine becoming a different guest, a different person in the same environment, seeing that slightly awkward, uncomfortable, anxious version of you. And when you can see yourself like you're looking at a different person, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine rewinding everything to before you even arrived. Only this time, I want you to observe yourself as if you were arriving under different circumstances that would be conducive to you feeling comfortable, relaxed, safe in your own skin, able to be yourself. Whatever needs to change, allow it to change. As you can then observe yourself with subtle differences. And maybe those subtle differences are a more relaxed posture. Maybe you're smiling more, willing to engage more people in conversations. Notice those subtle differences, the facial expressions, the breathing rate. And notice that you do different things, interact more with people, willing to be more sociable perhaps. See yourself having complete permission to just be yourself, have fun, and enjoy yourself. And maybe in this environment, someone that was there before is no longer there. But the important thing is to see you resourceful in exactly the same context. And when you're convinced that this is a resourceful version of you, let me know by nodding your head. And then just rewind it again and again. Amplify that ability to be the version of you comfortable in that same environment. And maybe you could add an amplifier. It's not that someone isn't there. Maybe they're 1,000 miles away. Or perhaps there's someone else that you know there from your past that makes you feel good. Whatever needs to change, change. And when you see yourself looking more resourceful in that same context, let me know by nodding your head. And then rewind it to before you arrived, but you're rewinding that resourceful version of you. And then imagine stepping into that version of you, so you are now arriving at the same place, only this time feeling resourceful. If there's any inner dialogue, it's encouraging and positive. The way that you're breathing maybe feels more relaxed. Maybe there's a sense of positive expectation that you're going to enjoy yourself. Get a sense that you're arriving at the very place that you arrived before, but this time feeling resourceful. I want you to find some kind of reflective surface, maybe a mirror, maybe a glass window, and see your own reflection and see how relaxed you feel in that environment. And maybe someone that was there before is no longer there, but you feel confident, relaxed, worthy, able to just enjoy yourself. And imagine doing the very things you would do if that was the case. There's a sense of freedom, liberation, that you can just be yourself and that's enough. No requirement to have additional knowledge or skills, additional financial resources. This is evidence that you can enjoy yourself in this environment exactly as you are. And right now, maybe someone isn't there and you can enjoy yourself. But then just imagine that you notice someone with a strange disguise. You're not 100% sure if it's a particular person or not. Maybe they're the same height, the same build, but their face looks different. I want you to make the evaluation that there is a possibility that someone is there and you're fine with that. Nothing changes within you. You're still relaxed, still calm, still confident. Perhaps you imagine this person in disguise that looks nothing like someone from your past or present, but at the same time is still being social, interacting with people. But their bright light does not dim yours. You're still able to enjoy yourself just as much. Breathe in and breathe out, and then imagine they start to take off a disguise. And maybe you now see someone that in the past would have caused some kind of anxiety, comparison. But I want you to look at it through a different lens, accepting that if you can enjoy yourself alone. And if you can enjoy yourself not knowing if they're there or not, then you can definitely enjoy yourself if they're there, which is only one stepping stone away from believing you can enjoy yourself even more because they're there. And whether that feels like it would be reality or not, I want you to act as if it's true, that you can just be yourself, laugh, smile, joke, interact, dance, have conversations, and just imagine how it would feel to feel that way no matter who was in the room. I want you to reach a point where you enjoying yourself is a source of pride and a source of positive reinforcement from that other person. That because you're happy and enjoying yourself, it makes them even happier. I want you to imagine experiencing exactly what happened in this new way, what you would have done differently. Imagine rewriting history the way you would have wanted it to have been. Once you feel that the event is coming to an end, let me know by nodding your head. And just imagine as you breathe in and breathe out, you are unlocking a doorway to a possibility that whatever beliefs were preventing this possibility are melting away. Whatever fears and insecurities, they're also melting away. And what is growing instead is a feeling of emotional maturity, a growing feeling of acceptance. I want you to imagine this desire to control is just a tiny part of your personality, a scared, insecure part of your personality. The part that if you grew up in a different country with a different family may lead you to be an evil dictator of a nation. And feel good that that part is losing its hold over you. And instead, an understanding, emotionally mature, reasonable, accepting part is now taking the lead in these environments. This isn't a change in you. It's an evolution in you. An evolution that you've seen in many different people at many different times in your life. Only now, it's occurring within you. And the more times you consider different environments the way you would have wanted them to have been, the more this new part in you is being trained to take the lead, to be the dominant part in any such situations. Breathe in and out. And as you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, feel like you're returning to the present as you wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting fully with the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.